Well, welcome to my new office. I got offered an office with a window, which is really nice, and so I moved in. Now, I've got to tell you, I'm a big proponent of a place for everything, and everything has its place, and right now it looks kind of like a wreck, and I'm tempted to just start going ahead and putting things in place. Of course, I already have my personal Kanban scheduling board, just moved that over, so that worked out well, but I am tempted to just begin putting things into place. So one thing that I've learned over the years is that it's important when you move into a new space, it's a new working environment, and so the way that you interact with that space might be different than you're accustomed to. So one thing that I've learned to do is to just begin working in that space. So I typically clear out the entire space, and then as I need particular items, I bring them into the space, and I put them approximately where I think that I might need them, or where it seems convenient during the time. But then over a period of a couple of weeks, as I'm using particular items, bringing more items into that workspace, I begin to get a feel of which items am I going to be using most in that particular workspace, where's the best opportunity or best places for me to place those items, to create a more permanent location for those where it's always going to be exactly where I expect it to be. So I'm going to look forward to, over the next few weeks, figuring out how I'm going to be interacting with my new office and what the most productive way for me to set up this office is to make it work for me. Well, welcome to my new office. I'm excited to show you all the neat changes that I've made to it. Just looking for waste in my processes and finding ways to get around it. I'll give you a brief overview, but then I'd love to show you some innovations that I have in my office. Of course, this is my task scheduling Kanban board. This is all color coordinated by my value streams. So the different classes that I teach, the different initiatives that I'm a part of, and then everywhere throughout my office you'll see the same color coding. So anything related to, for instance, SCM 4367, my class where I teach Lean and Six Sigma, is yellow, so you can see some yellow here. You can see the different class notes. There are the class notes for that SCM 4367, as well as my class schedules. Same thing with resource books. So the other thing that I did in here that I really love is the stand-up desk. I bought a little stand-up computer stand, and I was really enjoying it, and I realized I just really enjoy standing, and so I just built this. It's just a piece of wood and then some pipe legs with some little feet that I put on there. Cut it out to be the same size and shape. Actually, it's a little larger than my desk, so it actually gives me a little more square footage there. I found it to be really helpful because students will come in groups, and we can kind of huddle around this table and have a discussion about their projects. And then it's really great for my productivity. I don't have to stand up and sit down to get items that I need. So let me show you some innovations that I have in my office. So as I walk by my desk, sort of get to my computer, here's the hand sanitizer right at hand height as I walk by. My note system that you've seen in other videos that I've created. Over here by the printer, you can see that I've got the 3-hole punch and the stapler, and I've got them angled that way because when papers come off of the printer and have been printed, then they need to be hole punched. This is exactly where it can go hole punch and then stapled. In order to keep them in place, I do have a little shadow board there for each one of those, so that when they do move out of place, it's easy for me to get it right back where it needs to be. Got Kanban for paper, Kanban for ink for the printer. Next to the laptop, I've created a little angled board for things that I'm working on with my computer. So I've got that there, and this has in it places for post-it notes, of course, with Kanban, a pen, got my calculator there, and then on the other side of my computer, got in Kaizen foam a place for my coffee cup, my phone, and then some ink as well. Then down below, got a place for tape, and that's, shadow boarded as well. Inside the drawer, then, I've got a list of things that are actually in that drawer, and they're in the order that they appear in the drawer. So when you open up the drawer, everything is in Kaizen foam here with, Kanban, 2-bin Kanban for everything. All right, so let me show you my trash can. Now you may think that this is a little bit silly, but because I use a stand-up desk, the location of the trash can was really important to me. I didn't want to trip over the trash can. I wanted it to be a place where I could throw away trash without even looking. When I would come in the mornings, the trash can would be scattered a lot of different places around, and I'd have to work on adjusting it again. And then I just put a little circle there on the carpet where the trash can would go. Now, to be honest, I did not know if the people that came through doing the cleaning in the evenings, I thought maybe they'll just ignore it, and then this circle will at least help me to get it back where it needs to go. But I will tell you, I've had it here now for 2-3 weeks, and every morning when I come in, the trash can is just perfectly placed there. When you create visual cues that are really obvious, people tend to follow them. People like things in place and where they look neat and clean. And you can see if the trash can's out of place even just a little bit, it's really pretty obvious. And when I come in, it looks just like that. So over here are my bookshelves organized by topic, color-coded with the same system that I use throughout the rest of my office. And a lot of times students will come in and they'll ask, do you have book recommendations so that I can learn more about Lean or learn more about different topics that you teach? So I did 2 things to kind of help me find books quickly that students might want to take a look through. I did organize by topic, so I've got different topics here you can see, but then inside of each I kind of have a book that I typically will recommend for students. So here are Lean classics, and then I put a gold star on the binding of the books that are kind of the ones that I might tell students, hey, you may want to take a look at this one. So here under the Toyota Way for first timer getting involved with Lean, Toyota Way Field Book, and the Toyota Way, the original. And so having those gold stars on the binding of the book has really helped me to reduce the waste of motion and looking around to find exactly the book that I need. Thank you for letting me give you a tour of my office today, and if you're ever around the University of Houston, then drop on by and give me a visit. Love to show you in person.